What is up, everybody? I am back with another tier list. In today's video, it's going to be about Batman. I have my Batman sweater on right now, but let's get a little bit more festive. I'm Batman. I think this is the right look for this video. As far as I've been alive, I've always loved Batman. I've been obsessed about Batman. He's my favorite superhero and he is the best fictional character ever. I was so obsessed with Batman, and I still am, that one time in my room everything had to be Batman, and every week I would go to get a new Batman toy. But enough talking, let's go and rank these movies. Okay, we got the tier list open here, starting in order. Batman 66. Adam West and Burt Ward are great. This is the first time in a long time where you see Penguin, Joker, Catwoman, and Riddler all in one movie, and Batman and Robin. I think all the villains are great in here. This is really this campy and fun, cheesy time, but it's a fun, great little movie. Alright, Batman 89, Tim Burton. This is where Batman got a lot darker, and it set the tone for all the Batman movies going forward. Michael Keaton, I think, does an okay job here as Batman. Bruce Wayne. Jack Nicholson in here is good. The Batmobile is amazing. My favorite Batmobile. Also, Tim Burton's Gotham City is really great. It really has that ugly kind of tone, and just a place you don't want to live. Is the best Gotham City we've ever had, in my opinion. I just don't like how Michael Keaton kills his villains in this movie. I think how Joker is responsible for the deaths of Batman's parents was good. It made those tensions between them just bigger and better. Danny Elfman's score in here is also amazing. I think this is still a great Batman movie. Batman Returns. This is where Tim Burton got booted off after this movie, and he got a lot of hate because he went a lot darker with this movie more than the first one. When I first watched this as a kid, I didn't like it, but when I watched it as an adult, I love it. Danny DeVito as Penguin is great, and he has the duck vehicle like in the comics. I just don't like how he's kind of a actual penguin human hybrid. I think that was a little weird. Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman here is great. I like how she's manipulative and grasps Batman's attention easily and just like persuade him. Michael Keaton is a little bit better in this one than he is in the first one. This one to me is also a great Batman movie. Alright, Batman Forever. This is when Joel Schumacher took over. Now, it's surprising that this movie actually made more than Batman Returns. I don't think it's as good as Batman Returns, though I think it's a decent Batman movie. Val Kilmer is good. I wouldn't say he's better than Michael Keaton, though. Though I like his Bruce Wayne a lot in this movie. Chris O'Donnell as Robin is also cool, and I like his suit, but I think he should be at the kind of that Nightwing stage when you look at the age of him in this movie. Jim Carrey's just Jim Carrey in this movie. Not saying he's bad Riddler, I think he's good. Tommy Lee Jones in here as Two-Face is not that good, but he's not that bad either. I don't like the scars they gave him where it was pink, but I do think it's still a decent movie and a fun time, and I would like to see the Schumacher cut of this film. Now, on the other hand, Batman and Robin, this is just plain out shit. Lord have mercy. How did this even get past the writing stage? I'll never know. I bet if I went back in time into the writer's room, I would see them writing this movie with their actual feces. This movie is just plain out garbage. The suits are ugly. Poison Ivy's forgettable. Batgirl's forgettable. Everything in this movie is just forgettable. It's just super campy, cheesy, and over the top and really cringy. Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze suit, though, is pretty cool. Him as Mr. Freeze. You're telling me he was the best choice? I'll never understand that. This movie is just god-awful and shit, and I would never make my worst enemy watch this. Moving on to Batman Mask of the Phantasm. I have it on this list because it did release theatrically, and it's one of my favorite Batman movies. Conroy is the definitive Batman. When I think of Batman, I hear Kevin Conroy's voice. And rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. I think the animation is good. I think the villain Phantasm is awesome, and I would like to see her on the big screen one day. And I think her going after the villains who killed her father was a good motive, and I liked how she tried to get revenge, but she was doing it in the wrong way. It's a great Batman origin as well. I think having Joker's origin here as well is really good, and I just love this movie. Can't wait to get it on 4K Ultra HD. This is a top tier Batman movie. Moving on to Christopher Nolan's Batman the Dark Knight trilogy, starting off with Batman Begins. Batman Begins, this is my favorite Batman movie of the Dark Knight trilogy. Christian Bale does a great job in here as both Batman and Bruce Wayne. This is the best Batman origin we got, and there's a reason why they haven't tried to do another Batman origin movie in a long time. Liam Neeson and Ra's al Ghul is great. I love how the League of Shadows train Batman to become Batman, then try to take over Gotham, and they're the villains, and Batman has to use his skills which he got from them to try to take them down and save Gotham City. Was a great plot. I think the Gotham looked the best in here and it did in all the other movies of the trilogy. I think the Tumbler is pretty cool. I think Cillian Murphy in here as Scarecrow, I loved him. I loved the effects, all the special effects in here with the toxin, and I don't know why they didn't actually use Scarecrow more in the other movies or even as the main villain in this movie. I feel like Scarecrow really got sidelined and he should have actually been the main villain, not Ra's al Ghul, but Ra's al Ghul was still great. This is a Batman movie that stands the test of time and is the best Batman live-action origin movie of all time. This is a top-tier Batman movie. Alright, moving on to The Dark Knight, known as the greatest comic book movie of all time. I would also say that, but though I wouldn't say it's the best Batman movie, because more of the focus in this movie is on Joker. Heath Ledger's Joker, rest in peace as well, is really accurate to Joker and everything you would want Joker to be. And he just really steals this movie. It has lots of great action, lots of tension. Two-Face in here is good. This is an awesome movie and one of the best comic book movie ever put to screen. It's a timeless classic and will always be talked about. Moving on to The Dark Knight Rises. This is the first Batman movie I ever saw in theaters, and it holds a special place in my heart. But when you compare it to the first two, in my opinion, it's not as good as the first two. Anne Hathaway as Catwoman in this movie does a okay job, though I don't feel like she really has that great of a motive, and she just felt like she was just kind of thrown in there for the sake of having Catwoman. I think Christian Bale's performance in here is good, but Bane steals the show, and that's something that happens in this whole trilogy where most of the villains and other characters steal the spotlight from Batman, which I don't like, because if you're making a Batman movie, I expect the main spotlight they'll always be on Batman. So Talia al Ghul has the fakest and worst death ever put on screen. I just didn't like her. She didn't feel that intimidating. This movie does have some problems, though it's still a great ending for a phenomenal trilogy. Alright, Batman vs Superman. Now, we're just going to focus on the Batman side of things, because it's not really that much of a Batman movie, and it's a shame Ben Affleck didn't get a solo movie. I think Ben Affleck does a good job. I don't like how his Batman kills, but he's a very comic accurate to an old Frank Miller Batman, because that's what he's based off. I like his suit. I think he's the scariest Batman, and the warehouse scene is phenomenal, and he has the best hand-to-hand combat action scene of all the Batmans, and that warehouse scene is amazing. But the Ultimate Edition of this movie makes it better, not by much, but it still makes it good enough for a rewatch, so I'm gonna put in the decent. Alright, moving on to the Lego Batman. Yeah, it's a Lego movie, it's a fun kids movie, but it has all the things you want from Batman. Batman, Batgirl, every villain you could ever imagine. It's just a fun little Batman movie and a great time to watch. So I'm going to put this in the great. Alright, moving on to Zack Snyder's Justice League. Again, focus on just the Batman part. I think Ben Affleck does a better job in this movie and is just a lot more lovable. He's that perfect kind of Justice League Batman. I loved all his action scenes. He's pretty intimidating and just looked badass. I wish we could have got that Batman solo movie, especially with the setup in the end with Deathstroke. That would have been an amazing Batman movie. It probably could have been the best Batman movie ever. Overall, I still love this movie. I know it's 4 hours and it's long. I think it's a great movie. Moving on to the final movie, The Batman, 2022, starring Robert Pattinson. This is my favorite Batman movie. This is the best Batman movie. This is the most comic accurate Batman movie. The Gotham City is amazing and very grounded and grimy and looks great. The Batmobile doesn't look the coolest. It is the most realistic and it sounds pretty badass, especially in the chase scene. Colin Farrell in here is amazing. as the Penguin, and I can't wait for that Penguin HBO Max show. Paul Dano in here as Riddler is very terrifying, and he is probably my second favorite Batman villain. Only pretty much Batman villain that got away with what he wanted. This man not only killed a bunch of people through the movie, he flooded the damn city. That's the most damage a Batman villain has ever done to Gotham. Andy Serkis in here as Alfred is okay. I thought he was gonna die in the movie from that bomb, but he didn't. Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman is my favorite. She's the most accurate, the Catwoman, especially that year one comic Catwoman. Very sneaky, very manipulative, but the best part of this movie is Batman. When you buy a Batman movie ticket, you got what you paid for. You got Batman. I think Robert Pattinson, he's the most accurate Batman. His Gotham's accurate. His Batman in voice is accurate. He has that more lower tone voice when he puts on the mask and a more higher tone voice when he's out of the mask as Bruce Wayne. He's a threatening Batman. He's a detective, just like how Batman is in the comics. His fight scenes are definitely the second best compared to Ben Affleck's, but in a solo Batman movie, he has the best fighting scenes. I think Jeffrey Wright in here as Gordon was okay, and a nice little partner that worked alongside Batman. This is the best Batman movie ever. This is top tier. My favorite Batman movie. That's gonna be it for my Batman rankings and this tier list. Tell me down below what you thought of my tier list, where you would place all the movies on it, and what your favorite Batman movie is, and favorite Batman actor. That's gonna be it. Please go down there, like, and subscribe. I want to thank everyone though, before I go off. We did hit our 200 subscriber mark, and I am thankful for every single one of you. And let's just keep going. So that's gonna be it for this video. See you guys.